Oh man, I hate Mondays.
Nah, man, it's Tuesday.
Wait. What day is it?
You know what day it is. Tuesday. Brewsday, Tuesday.
Oh, fuck yeah. It's time for Brewsday Tuesday, brought to you by the Cellar and Six Pack Store. Here is Huck and Big Nate.
You know what that sound was?
Well,
Sobriety.
yeah, it's disappointing to pop one of these and not have any alcohol in it.
I mean,
Hello?
so
Who brought these? Oh, wait, it was me.
it was you, but this harkens back to Drez always wanting to do the healthy thing, and
Oh,
and
that son of a
we're
gun.
gonna honor some of his traditions, maybe one time. And you guys don't know what the hell we're doing off air between songs, but right now we're having some non-alcoholic brews, and I've got Partake Brewing's Hazy IPA. It's a non-alcoholic brew, ABV zero point 0.5. You got 0.5% here.
Is it point five? Yeah, point five. This is I gotta put my glasses on. It's called, I love this because they used to make this when I was a child of 18 or so, near beer. And that it even existed back then. So this is near beer, hazy IPA, and this one's named Uncool, which I took because no matter what you do, I'm going to be cool. If nothing else, I guess it's the name of the brewery, near beer, because that's all it is. That's weird. Hmm.
Is
Uncool.
that I've had that one before. And that's the other thing I do want to applaud your Uncool is the name of the brewery.
Okay.
I want to applaud your selection here because you did end up with some things I'd never had before. That was the only one I had was the Uncool.
Well,
I believe you've got the IPA flavor there.
yeah, yeah, hazy IPA. And
If
I'm
it's
just gonna say,
non-alcoholic, we're calling it a flavor.
I don't know if I can say, but it tastes like ass. If I can't say that, you'll
You can
bleep it
say it.
out. Okay, well, I
Yeah.
just said it. It does taste like ass. I mean, just saying, this is, I mean, why? Just why? Well, actually, we can talk about why. I might know why. But go ahead. You're going to say.
I'm gonna be really honest with you. I don't mind the non-alcoholic beers. I mean, there's no substituting for the real thing, but I've had some that are like, again, we're not calling it beer. I'm not, if you come over to my house and say, hey, can I have a beer? I'm not going to have non-alcoholic beer, but I've never had no duels. I've not had one that just,
Well, we used to call it old drools.
yeah, I've not had one that like tastes like gnarly like that. Although I do love like in the movies when, kids are standing outside the convenience store and try and get someone who's of age to buy them beer and they end up buying the non-alcoholic stuff. That's always like great comedy for me. Have you ever heard of O'Doul's? But I've never had one.
I think somebody
This
gave me one when I was like 16. I thought I was drunk after I drank it.
the thing with near beer, in my opinion, is it tastes kind of like seltzer water. In that, you know how like if you like open a LaCroix, it tastes like
Is that how you
that.
say that?
I'm guessing. I'm not
I always
French.
said LaCroix.
That works too. I
Okay,
I
I don't
don't
know.
know. Um,
I'm not trying to ham you here. Oh,
well,
yes, I
you
am.
know how it tastes like it was just canned and carbonated in a room that happened to have the same fruit of the flavor.
Right, right.
That's
They
what,
whispered orange to it.
yeah, that's what these near beers
They,
are
hey,
to
I
me. Like
burped, though. It's
they
got that.
they get the hop notes, but the flavor will never, ever, ever be like full bodied. I've not encountered one yet. Luckily, I like to taste the hops.
Well, I have a lot of directions to go on the show today with this. And I wanted to start with how I discovered near beer. Interesting story, as all of my stories should be.
That's true.
Well, in 2004, I became a kind of devout libertarian. I'm still a libertarian, but I was involved in the process. I no longer am that
Can can
involved.
can you describe a political affiliation as being devout? Usually, that's reserved
Yeah,
for
well,
religion.
well, libertarianism is
Did you join a cult, Hulk?
kind of a cult thing, yeah. But anyway, I ended up for some reason. I at that time my business was going very well, and so I made some contributions. I ended up being like one of the
You're
Virginia.
like a chair.
I was right. Well, I was the chair in
Yeah.
2006, but this is 2004, and we were running the presidential candidate around Michael Bodnar, which you should look up. The guy is a constitutional expert, but in any case, not the best candidate. But he didn't drink. He drank non-alcoholic beer. So at that time, it was rare, and there was only like three kinds. And I know O'Doul's was the one he didn't like that. I'm trying to think. The other one was whatever Miller was making at that time. He liked that. It had a weird name, but anyway, so we would have to go out everywhere we went if we were going to go to a bar
You had to make sure they had near
yeah,
beer.
make sure they had it, or we would bring some in. So he would appear to be drinking beer with his buddies and stuff. You know, it's all part. It's all politics. It's just like
Posturing.
the news. It's a show. It's a sitcom. Thank you very much. And if you don't believe that, watch the news. You know, watch the news high, and then you'll really know that.
I think it was Winston Churchill, I believe. I mean, he had a lot of quotes about drinking, but one
Yeah,
of
he
them
was
was that
great.
like he did not trust people who wouldn't have a beer with someone. And I find that to be a good policy because usually those are people who have something to hide.
Well, I think Winston Churchill once said, woman said, "You're
Oh my,
drunk." And he said, "Well, ma'am,
in the
you're
morning I'll be sober.
yeah, but you'll still be ugly,"
Yeah.
which isn't polite at all, Winston.
Hey, Churchill is one of the
Come
most like
on.
quotable historical figures that you won't get like
Oh
canceled for
no,
saying what he said, but it's
yeah,
always like so witty.
but that's just mean, downright mean. He can't help she's ugly.
Hey, look, he was funny as hell, and in the midst of everything going on during his term as prime minister,
Yeah, it was
it
exciting
was good. He
times.
had a sense of humor.
Exciting times. Yeah, it was good. But anyway, so that's how I found out. I mean, I probably, like I say, I probably had no duels before I was of age. May have had something else. But
I
that was the thing is that's how I learned about it. But you know, it's just kind of like, you know, decaffeinated coffee. Who cares? You
I,
know, why?
yeah, I mean,
But the reason this doesn't taste like a hazy IPA is I guarantee you this was made by what they call the distillation
yep,
process. There's three processes. So they boiled the hops out of this. If you use the osmosis method where you use a filter, you know, it's like a mini micro, what's the word I'm looking for? Super micro filter, and it takes out,
macro.
yeah, macro takes the alcohol out, but leaves all the flavor. And that's the best way. And a lot like most of the European ones do that. It's reverse osmosis. That's what it is. So, yeah, because the alcohol is smaller, so it takes that the alcohol goes through the filter, but all the rest of the good stuff stays. And if you drink one from over there, they taste normal. And what
Well,
some of these we're about to have, we have two more in the next
well,
session.
you know, and I don't know because I've not researched the science. I've researched the effects. Um, I you know, your beer is conditioned. It's usually can conditioned, bottle conditioned, cask conditioned. I feel like they just throw this right in a can and then just ship it.
Well,
Like,
yeah, but they got to do the fermentation process. Then they have to remove the alcohol because
okay,
by definition, the fermentation
yeah.
is going to happen. Then they do throw in the cans. They don't want it to ferment anymore because it might get alcohol. But
You wouldn't want to
no,
risk having a good time.
wouldn't want to have any of that. Thank you. So I don't know. It's
I,
just the way it is.
I will say this is only 25 calories.
Right. And also
So
I was gonna note that
whatever is in flavor is also in calories.
we don't usually talk about the cost of doing this show, you know. Well, we do, but not on the air. And so I have to say this is probably the least expensive show we've ever done. These things are $2 each. 208,
That's
28.
still too much.
Yeah, but still, I mean, you can't get
You can get a soda for $1.
I don't know. I don't buy them.
Oh no,
My bottle of water is like $2.
I think that was one of our crutches when Drez and I did Dry January last year. I was like, all right, well, if we're gonna do this, we gotta do a soda show because I can't be drinking
Oh, there you go.
seltzer and kombucha all month.
Well, actually, I gotta look. I might have some alcohol-free liquor. I think I might have
Oh my God,
Yes.
remember when we did that?
I can't
No,
remember.
wait, we did the fake liquor that was made out of grapes. We didn't do alcohol-free liquor.
No, I think I have some alcohol-free
Oh.
liquor because, you know, I was going to get into this in the second session, but you know, I went on the no alcohol
Yeah.
when I quit the show 3 years ago.
And I didn't
before-
trust you
before I
then.
got sick.
I
Yeah,
didn't talk to you.
Nobody did. Nobody
I
did.
didn't trust you.
I was not happy, but I ended up buying a bunch of, you know, alcohol-free stuff during that short-lived period of my life.
I mean, that to me would almost have more appeal, and I guess we'll talk about it on the next segment.
Well, I'll
That
tell
to
you
me
what-
almost would have more appeal because I do love the taste of bourbon.
What we can do, and I mean, I don't want to give away any secrets, but if we say we tire of this, we could do a side by side,
Yes,
alcohol, non-alcohol. I think that's what we should do.
we need to do it a blind trial. Like I make yours, you make mine.
Or we could bring in Kyle. He wants to come in.
That's true.
we could say, Kyle, here's your opportunity, buddy. You don't get to drink.
And
We'll
Kyle
let you talk.
is one of those people. He doesn't have a tell, so I think.
Oh, really? He's good.
Yeah,
Then.
I think he would be the perfect choice.
We should take him to play poker then. I don't have a tell because in poker, change the subject a little bit, because I always think I'm going to win. I can have do 7 unsuited. I still think I'm going to win.
I like to play without looking at my cards.
I've done that.
I used to go to like a poker night with a couple of friends. Like we'd do it every week, and get a couple handles of bourbon and sit there and we play poker all night. And I found that the more bourbon I drank, the less I looked at my cards,
The better you
the
did.
better I did. Apparently, I mean, I'm also really bad at Clue. Like, apparently, I have a lot of like tells that I don't even really consider. So the wife likes to play Clue against me because I
Ah.
always win.
I used to play spades and with these firemen, and they were, you could just tell, one guy would look at his cards, eyes would open up, I was like, he's got the ace. Now I know what that is.
I think that's one of my favorite things that like I need to bring back into my life is like playing card games. I
Well,
love
spades
you
is a
sit
great
there yeah,
game.
spades is great. What was the other one? It was
Hearts. Spades and
is it
hearts.
Egyptian rat screw?
I
think it's called
remember that,
Egyptian
but we
rat
didn't play
screw.
it much.
I love that one. And then I mean this one isn't really a card game. This is more interactive. But have you ever played King's Cup?
No.
Oh well, you take a can of beer, cup of liquor, something. No, I mean it's got to be a can. You put all the cards around it, and then you got to keep like drawing. Everyone around the table draws cards, and there's different rules. Like for instance, 7 is heaven, so like you got to reach for the sky. 4 is floor. 3 truths and a lie. Like there's all these different like
Oh, that's
elements
cute. I'll
to
have
it,
to look that
and
up.
it's
for
got to be like
grandkids.
fast.
Yeah.
But you also, if you break the circle, you have to slam your drink, and if you
The grandkids won't do
the
that.
discard pile goes under the pull tab of the can. So if you break the seal on the can, you've got to slam that one as well.
Oh.
So it's a really
we could
good
do
game.
Juice boxes, I guess.
You could.
The other one was I had 5 brothers and sisters, so we played canasta. It took like 4 decks.
yes,
cards.
Canasta's
Yeah.
It was the one in our was what's one with books? Where's your 4 books? Oh God,
Oh,
it's been so long.
my wife and I used to play rummy and gin rummy for money. And her father, he was wicked good at it.
I was waiting for you to say that's how you got out of like a dowry or something.
No, he was really good at it.
Won my wife in a game of gin.
Well, what is it? Gin rummy is the one where you put the cards down, you can pick up the whole, they go along and you pick them all up. So I'm famous for just picking up 20 cards and then going out on them because I just had enough in my hand to take them out. And with all the points. But anyway, back to
on non-alcoholic beer.
non-alcoholic beer.
We really went on a tangent there.
We did.
Everyone's
That's
breaking out their
good.
decks of cards.
It's good. What's the one where you have the pennies and you put it on the cards?
That one I don't know.
Oh, we used to play that in the camper when it rained. I'll ask the old lady. I'll tell you next week. Can't remember, but that's one we used to love. Kids love it. You get the money whenever you get whatever the card is. You get the money. So, but anyway,
we gotta rate these.
So where'd you learn about? Oh, you want to just wait till next segment? And we'll talk about where you learned about this.
In a beer or card games?
In a beer.
Yeah, we can do that.
Oh, can we play?
My story is going to be less exciting, but
yeah, well, I always brag, and all my stories have a certain level of BS in them. All of my stories, except the ones where I say I'm really cool. That's true. All right, so I'm giving this. It's NA beer, okay, but I've had good NA beers. Like I said, I've had a lot of NA beers. I'm gonna only give this a 3. I'm sorry. I mean, it has a little bit. I mean, it's okay. It feels like a beer, but it doesn't feel like a hazy IPA. Okay. That's all I got to say about that.
I'm going to come out kind of the same way. The Partake Brewing hazy IPA, non-alcoholic, 25 calories. You lose a lot of your flavor with calories. It tastes good, but I mean, it's not a beer. I'm going to be right there with you. It's going to be a 3.
3s across the board.
And I'm sure next
week. You got any of that any of that BG's staying alive.
I think I can get you some BGs. We're gonna go ahead and
'Cause that's what this is all about,
Clinton-
cutting out the alcohol so we'll stay alive.
cleanse our palates, and we'll be back. More Brews Day Tuesday on 105.3 The Bear.